So it was fun to do,
Yeah.
and I wasn't hesitant about taking
Yeah.
it.
I'm sorry.
But now it's a little uncomfortable to look back.
Phoebe Cates, the teen icon who chose family over fame. Phoebe Cates was one of the most recognizable faces of the 1980s, an actress who captured the hearts of audiences with her beauty, charm, and natural talent. She became a pop culture sensation thanks to her unforgettable role as Linda Barrett in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 1982. Her famous red bikini scene remains one of the most iconic moments in teen movie history, cementing her status as a Hollywood bombshell. However, while many actresses would have ridden that wave of fame for decades, Cates had a different plan for her life. Following her breakout success, she continued to build her film career with roles in beloved classics like Gremlins, 1984, and its sequel, Gremlins 2, The New Batch, 1990, where she played Kate Beringer, the sweet yet sharp-witted love interest. She also starred in Private School, 1983, and Drop Dead Fred, 1991, further proving her versatility in both comedy and drama. Despite her popularity, Cates never seemed interested in chasing stardom. Unlike many of her contemporaries who sought out blockbuster roles, she gravitated toward more intimate projects, preferring roles that intrigued her rather than ones designed for mass appeal. Cates's decision to step away from Hollywood came in the mid-1990s, shocking fans and industry insiders alike. Unlike many actors who fade into obscurity due to a lack of opportunities, Cates left on her own terms. She had already built an impressive career, but chose to prioritize something even more important to her: family. In 1989, she married Academy Award-winning actor Kevin Kline, and together they built a life away from the chaos of Hollywood. While Kline continued acting, Cates took on the role of a devoted mother, dedicating her time to raising their two children, Owen and Greta. Rather than making sporadic comebacks or chasing fleeting fame, Cates fully embraced her new chapter. In 2005, she opened Blue Tree, a charming boutique on Madison Avenue in New York City. The store offers a curated selection of unique gifts, home decor, clothing, and books, reflecting Cates's personal taste and love for creativity. Her transition from actress to entrepreneur allowed her to maintain a fulfilling career without sacrificing the privacy and stability she valued for her family. Though she has largely remained out of the public eye, Cates occasionally makes appearances at special events, usually to support her husband or children. However, she has shown no desire to return to acting, despite numerous offers over the years. Even when Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai, an animated prequel to the Gremlins films, was announced, she chose not to reprise her role. Her decision is a rare one in Hollywood, where many actors struggle to step away from the spotlight. Phoebe Cates' story is one of balance, self-awareness, and personal fulfillment. She had the talent and the opportunity to continue as a major Hollywood star, but instead chose a quieter, more meaningful life. For her, success wasn't measured by box office numbers or red carpet appearances. It was about being present for her family and pursuing passions that brought her genuine happiness. While many fans would love to see her return to the big screen, Cates has proven that sometimes walking away from Hollywood is the ultimate power move. Rick Moranis, comedy legend who stepped away for family. Rick Moranis was one of the most beloved comedic actors of the 80s, starring in legendary films like Ghostbusters, Spaceballs, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and The Flintstones. His nerdy yet lovable persona made him a fan favorite. However, his career took an unexpected turn when his wife, Ann Belsky, passed away from cancer in 1991. Left to raise their two young children alone, Moranis made the heartbreaking decision to leave Hollywood behind. Unlike other stars who slowly faded away, Moranis completely withdrew from acting, dedicating himself to being a full-time father. While fans hoped for his return, he largely stayed out of the limelight, aside from a brief voice role in Brother Bear, 2003, and a commercial with Ryan Reynolds in 2020. Although he has been offered numerous roles over the years, Moranis has consistently chosen his quiet, private life over Hollywood glitz. Andrew McCarthy, Brat Pack star turned director. Andrew McCarthy was a key member of the Brat Pack, the group of young actors who defined 80s teen films. With starring roles in Pretty in Pink, St. Elmo's Fire, and Weekend at Bernie's, McCarthy was one of the most recognizable faces of the decade. But as the 90s arrived, his career slowed down, and he decided to reinvent himself. Instead of struggling to maintain his leading man status, McCarthy found success behind the camera. He transitioned into directing, working on hit TV shows like Orange is the New Black and The Blacklist. He also became a best-selling author, writing about his Hollywood experiences and personal life. Today, McCarthy continues directing and writing, proving that talent goes beyond just acting. Jami Gertz, actress turned business mogul. Jami Gertz was a rising star in the 80s, appearing in The Lost Boys, Less Than Zero, and Square Pegs. She had the looks, the talent, and the potential to become a major A-list actress. However, by the late 90s, her acting career slowed, and she took a different route, one that few Hollywood actresses ever take. After marrying billionaire Tony Ressler, she became an active businesswoman and philanthropist. The couple co-owns the Atlanta Hawks NBA team, and Gertz has focused much of her time on charity work. While she makes occasional appearances in TV and film, she has largely left Hollywood behind in favor of her business ventures. C. Thomas Howell, The Outsiders star who never stopped acting. C. Thomas Howell rose to fame playing Ponyboy Curtis in The Outsiders, one of the most beloved films of the 80s. He followed up with Red Dawn and Soul Man, proving his versatility as an actor. However, as the 90s rolled in, his star power faded. Unlike many of his Brat Pack peers, Howell never truly disappeared. He just transitioned into lower-profile projects. He continued working steadily, taking on roles in independent films, TV shows, and even voice acting. While he may not be headlining blockbusters anymore, Howell remains a dedicated actor, consistently working in Hollywood. Kim Carnes, the raspy-voiced singer who stepped back. Kim Carnes had one of the biggest hits of the 80s with Bette Davis' Eyes, a song that dominated the charts in 1981. Her distinctive raspy voice made her stand out from other pop stars of the era. While she continued releasing music throughout the decade, she never reached the same level of success again. Instead of chasing another hit, Carnes focused on songwriting, penning songs for other artists while occasionally performing live. Now in her 70s, she remains passionate about music, but has stepped away from the mainstream industry. Anthony Michael Hall, teen comedy star who struggled with typecasting. Anthony Michael Hall was the ultimate 80s nerd, starring in 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, and Weird Science. However, as he grew older, he struggled to break free from his geeky on-screen persona. Attempts to transition into serious adult roles didn't quite work, and he faded from Hollywood's A-list. Despite this, Hall has continued acting, landing supporting roles in films and TV shows like The Dark Knight and Halloween Kills. Though he never fully escaped his teenage typecasting, he has embraced his status as a respected character actor. Justine Bateman, from sitcom star to director, Justine Bateman became a household name as Mallory Keaton, the lovable yet ditzy sister on Family Ties, 1982 to 1989. The show, which also starred Michael J. Fox, was one of the most successful sitcoms of the decade, and Bateman's comedic timing made her a fan favorite. However, as the 90s rolled in, she struggled to find roles that matched her previous success. Rather than continue down the unpredictable road of acting, Bateman made a bold choice. She left Hollywood to pursue education and personal growth. Bateman enrolled at UCLA and studied digital media, proving that reinvention is possible at any stage of life. She later transitioned into directing and writing, producing insightful books on the nature of fame and child stardom. Today, she works behind the camera on various projects, choosing to shape the industry from a different perspective. While she no longer actively seeks the spotlight, Her contributions to Hollywood continue, and her story serves as an inspiration for those looking to redefine their careers. Emilio Estevez, the Brat Pack star who left the spotlight. As one of the defining figures of the Brat Pack era, Emilio Estevez starred in some of the most iconic films of the 80s, including The Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, Young Guns, and The Mighty Ducks. Unlike many of his peers, Estevez stayed out of the tabloid drama and built a respectable career based on talent and hard work. But as the 90s progressed, he made a surprising move. He turned his attention to directing. Estevez's passion for filmmaking led him behind the camera, where he worked on indie films that reflected his personal interests rather than mainstream blockbusters. He wrote, directed, and starred in Bobby, 2006, a film about Robert F. Kennedy's assassination that gained critical acclaim. Although he still acts occasionally, most recently reprising his role as Gordon Bombay in The Mighty Ducks, Game Changers, he largely avoids the Hollywood scene, preferring a quieter life. Ally Sheedy, from teen star to college professor Ally Sheedy, became an 80s icon thanks to her unforgettable roles in The Breakfast Club, War Games, and Short Circuit. However, fame came at a price. Sheedy struggled with the pressures of Hollywood and personal challenges that made her reevaluate her place in the industry. While she continued acting throughout the 90s, her career took a back seat as she prioritized personal well-being and creative fulfillment. In a surprising twist, Sheedy found a new calling: teaching. Today, she teaches film studies at a university, sharing her industry knowledge with the next generation of filmmakers and actors. Though she occasionally appears in TV shows and indie films, her main focus is education, proving that success isn't always about staying in the limelight. Judge Reinhold, the once bankable comedy star. During the 80s, Judge Reinhold was one of Hollywood's go-to comedic actors, starring in box office hits like Beverly Hills Cop, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and Ruthless People. His blend of humor and charm made him a popular choice for buddy comedies and lighthearted films. However, as the 90s arrived, his career began to decline due to a mix of industry typecasting and personal struggles. Legal troubles and behind-the-scenes conflicts further pushed him out of the spotlight. Although he still takes on occasional roles in TV movies and guest appearances, Reinhold never regained the star power he once had. Unlike some actors who stage major comebacks, Reinhold has largely embraced his lower-profile career, preferring to work on smaller projects rather than chase former glory. Bo Derek, the sex symbol who left Hollywood. Bo Derek became an international sensation with her breakout role in 10, 1979, where she famously ran across the beach in a swimsuit, cementing her status as a Hollywood sex symbol. Throughout the 80s, she starred in a handful of films, though few matched the success of her debut. As time went on, the roles stopped coming, and Hollywood moved on. Instead of struggling to maintain her fading fame, Derek chose a different path. She dedicated her time to animal rights activism and horse breeding, living a quieter, more fulfilling life away from the industry. Occasionally, she makes media appearances, but she has shown no interest in returning to acting full-time. Michael Paré, the actor who never regained his stardom. Michael Paré seemed destined for stardom after leading roles in Eddie and the Cruisers, Streets of Fire, and The Philadelphia Experiment. With his rugged good looks and undeniable charisma, he was pegged as Hollywood's next big action star. However, a string of underperforming films and poor career decisions caused his momentum to slow. By the 90s, Paré had transitioned into lower-budget films and television guest roles. Unlike many forgotten actors, he never truly stopped working. He simply shifted to smaller projects that didn't make mainstream headlines. Today, he continues to act in indie films and direct-to-video releases, proving that he remains dedicated to his craft despite no longer being an A-list name. Deborah Foreman, the forgotten 80s. It girl Deborah Foreman was a rising star in the 80s, known for her roles in Valley Girl, April Fool's Day, and My Chauffeur. She had the charm and talent to become a major Hollywood star, But her career took an unexpected turn. She turned down major roles, missed career-defining opportunities, and ultimately faded from the mainstream spotlight. Rather than trying to make a Hollywood comeback, Foreman chose to pursue other passions. Today, she teaches yoga and focuses on her art career, living a peaceful life away from the pressures of the entertainment industry. While she may not have become a household name, she remains beloved by 80s film fans. Aidan Quinn, the leading man who became a character actor. In the 1980s and early 1990s, Aidan Quinn was on the path to becoming one of Hollywood's most bankable leading men. With his piercing blue eyes, brooding charm, and undeniable screen presence, Quinn captivated audiences in films like Desperately Seeking Susan, 1985, Stakeout, 1987, and Legends of the Fall, 1994. His versatility allowed him to take on romantic leads, intense dramas, and crime thrillers, earning him a reputation as a reliable and dynamic performer. However, despite his early success, Quinn never fully embraced the A-list celebrity lifestyle. Unlike some of his contemporaries, he didn't chase blockbuster roles or immerse himself in Hollywood's high-profile social scene. Instead, he gravitated toward projects that interested him creatively, often choosing scripts based on their substance rather than their commercial appeal. As the 2000s arrived, Quinn made a notable transition from leading man to seasoned character actor. He began taking on supporting roles in television and film, proving his ability to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of Hollywood. One of his most recognizable TV roles came in Elementary, 2012 to 2019, where he played Captain Thomas Gregson, a no-nonsense police officer working alongside Johnny Lee Miller's modern-day Sherlock Holmes. His presence on the show added gravitas, and he became a fan favorite for his grounded, commanding performance. Beyond Elementary, Quinn made guest appearances in major television dramas, including Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, The Blacklist, and Banshee. His shift to television and independent cinema allowed him to avoid the pressures of mainstream Hollywood while continuing to work consistently. He embraced the freedom that came with being a respected character actor, allowing him to explore a wide range of roles without the constraints of leading man expectations. In addition to his work on screen, Quinn has remained active in theater and philanthropy. He has been a vocal advocate for various humanitarian causes, particularly those related to children's rights and environmental conservation. His grounded personality and commitment to meaningful work have set him apart from many of his former Hollywood peers who pursued relentless fame. Despite stepping away from the spotlight, Quinn's performances continue to receive critical acclaim. He has managed to carve out a steady career, balancing passion projects with more mainstream work. Though he may no longer be the fresh-faced romantic lead of the 80s, his longevity in the industry speaks volumes about his talent and dedication to his craft. Today, Aidan Quinn remains one of Hollywood's most respected and versatile actors. Whether on the big screen or television, he continues to deliver performances filled with depth, nuance, and authenticity. While he may not have reached the superstar heights some expected early in his career, he has built something far more valuable: a legacy of meaningful, powerful performances that have stood the test of time.